alert on the iPad for Periscope.
Huh.
I want to see if it's still open.
Did you put on your do not disturb?
Oh no, I'll do it right now. Thank you for it's weird. It's still like I can see it in the background. That's weird. Okay, let me put on do not disturb. Thank you for the reminder.
Oh my goodness. It's so kind of wonky without Periscope because it's there, but it's not. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, MCK Ryan.
Do not disturb. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
I'm B. We are going to get started in 4 minutes here. Hi, Aaron. How are you? Remember, guys, if you are watching this and you are not in Today in Travel.live, our little online community, make sure you join it. Lots of great collaborations in there. Who was it? Somebody posted about a port in Turkey, and
yep,
people had the answer for it. It was really, it made me so happy.
It did, because I didn't know the answer. Because I was supposed to go to Turkey, but there was a military coup. We couldn't go.
But I mean, that's just what I envisioned this group.
I agree.
Because it's not a group where it's all about you and I. We host this show, but that's not what it's about. That group is about posting your favorites, asking questions. I mean, I remember when I, had the original group that we evolved from this, Mark Pizzo pointed out some really great fun travel accessories. I'm always about those new latest and greatest travel accessories. There's one I actually want to get you, Jason, that I've seen online. It's a little hook that you put between the two rails on your roller suitcase, and you can fit a Starbucks cup in it.
Oh, I need it. I hope it can hold the venti size.
It can. Trust me. I know that's is there any other size?
For the night. So I did the other day. I did order a grande, but I ordered it with 4 shots to have more less water, more espresso.
More
so I did order a grande the other day, and I did feel a little weak walking around with a grande.
That's funny. Vanya, hi. Miriam, thanks for the award. Lee Johnson, welcome. Emmy, welcome.
Emmy, hello.
Hunt from Captiva Island. Pam, how are you guys all doing this morning? Do not forget to share this with your followers. We are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you the latest and greatest in travel chit chat. Now, remember, this is the talk show version, so we can't really answer as many questions as we go. If you have questions, please direct them to dayintravel.live so you can be the featured question of the day. And make sure you're subscribed to both of us because we do after hours chats. They're a lot more interactive. Today is about
and those after hours are totally impromptu, and it's more champagne and less coffee after hours. And hello, Cruise Like Rick.
Thank you for Cruise Like Rick. Thanks for the award. Yeah, today, the Tuesday shows are about bringing you guys the latest and greatest in travel news. That's the goal.
Yes, and the after hours where you guys saw me drink an entire bottle of champagne, that was the after hours chat.
That is absolutely fine. I love the after hours chats.
They were fun.
We had some really good chats this last time.
We did.
Rogan, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Anybody here? We're gonna get started in about 1 minute, but I hope you guys are all. What?
I hear a little feedback.
I don't hear any. Maybe it's your AirPods.
Okay.
Patrick, good morning.
Patrick, hello.
Hello. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what that noise is.
Are you sure it's not Hamilton playing in the background?
Oh God, I've been rocking out to Hamilton non-stop. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's fine. It's fine.
Do you think we'll ever be on board a ship?
Disney.
True. That is true.
Disney.
Pam, right. Not throwing away your shot. I love it.
So Pam, I was talking to Haley this morning, true story, as I was going to Starbucks, and I was singing this Rock Out to Hamilton. So, all right, what is top of the hour? All right, good morning, everybody. Miss Haley, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Rick is starting to creep on our stories here. Do you see this? It's like
I do.
pee.
Trust me, Rick. We'll be discussing that later. Well, Haley, it is great seeing you guys all here. Haley, it's great to see you. For those of you who don't know, or this is your first time, this is our weekly show. We do every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. We come to you for 20, 30 minutes
11
every
a.m.
Tuesday.
Eastern.
11 a.m. Did I mess it up again?
He said Central.
Gosh, I do it every time. 11 Eastern, 10 Central, every Tuesday. And we just come to you guys for 20 to 30 minutes. I am Jason Poole. I'm a travel advisor, professional in the industry, and book cruises, land resorts, European land tours, anything you want. And my partner in crime across from me digitally is Miss Haley. Tell us what you do, who you are, and why you're a professional.
Well, I try to be professional, but my name is Haley. I am a 14-year hotel veteran. I've worked the front desk all the way up to owning my own hotel sales service company, which is Hospitality with a Flair, with a small team. And we service a portfolio of hotels and trying to make them money, just like Jason likes to try to make the cruise line some money. And then I also travel blog, and I just got back from Vegas, and I actually had a great opportunity, got hosted at a resort while in Vegas. So I love travel. That's why I'm here.
Awesome. That is great. Well, guys, we have some late breaking news today that we threw in today. So we're going to discuss all the travel topics, and then we'll go over the countries you can travel again. We do that every week. We love bringing you guys a travel hack of the day, and I'm really excited for this one. This one we should have thought of a while ago, but I'm really excited for this travel hack. Then we'll answer a question of the day from the community, the Today and Travel.live, and then we'll let you guys know how to ask questions or get your question answered for next week. So, Haley, if you're ready, I'm ready to jump into the topics.
I'm ready. Drum roll. I was really excited about this one.
I am too. So late last week, the CDC changed some guidelines for vaccinated Americans. So for our international viewers, this is largely going to be for Americans today. So the first thing is not cruise related. The slide's cruise related, but for the first one, not going to be cruise related. They're saying that fully vaccinated Americans can travel both domestically and internationally at very low risk. They're no longer required to quarantine when you get home, or no longer do they recommend a negative test when you return home if you're fully vaccinated. Of course, for international travel, you still have to do the negative test to get back into the country. I'm hoping that changes soon, but for right now, that is still part of the CDC's plan. The CDC also came out with some news for the cruise industry. It does seem like they are treating the cruise industry a little bit differently than the rest of the travel industry. There's the slide up there. We won't go over all the words. There's a lot of words on there, but basically, they are wanting to very, very slowly phase in cruising out of America. So, Haley, what do you think? Do you think that seems reasonable? Do you think it seems a little unreasonable? What do you think as a travel professional and a cruise veteran?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's completely reasonable. It goes back to this common theme that we've had. If you want to stay, you got to play by the rules.
Right.
And these are the rules. I'm really happy that the CDC came out with more guidelines that are towards vaccinated people, because I think a lot of people got the vaccine initially and it's like, why am I still being constrained a bit more when I've, done what I'm supposed to? So I really like seeing this come out. One of the things I actually would love to bring up is traveling back to New York. New York's been a very strict state. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the guidelines, we still had to fill out the digital form when we landed in New York. And one of the questions on the form, and I meant to tell you this prior, so sorry if this is breaking news, is it said, have you been vaccinated within 4 to 90 days? That's one of the questions. So I found that very interesting, that it's like, so after 90 days, am I not going to be qualified to not quarantine. So I think there's a lot more that we're going to see from this. But I think overall, as the standard, though, it's great. I can tell you from the hotel industry side, this was a breath of fresh air because a lot of hotels have been struggling to get by, and having more of that clear guidance is great. And I mean, we just came off of a couple days ago where 4 million people were vaccinated in one day.
And that was amazing. I mean, there was a record. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
So I agree. I think it's great optimism for all the domestic travel. I do think the guidelines set out for the cruise lines are a little. I hate to use the word too strict, because you can't really be too strict in a pandemic. But I do think they are treating the cruise lines differently than resorts and hotels or airlines. And like I seen a funny meme where it was like, before you board a flight, everybody's socially distanced to check in, and then like the picture of the flight where it's just like people are just crammed in there. So
Yeah.
did you have to show any type of vaccine or anything at the airport, or like show any kind of card or anything like that?
So no, nobody asked for our vaccine card or anything. And another difference was when we got off in New York, there used to be the whatever county you were in, Department of Health, kind of waiting for you to flag you down to make sure you did that form. And there was none of that. What I do find kind of funny about the cruise lines being held hostage is, there's the people that say, "Oh, it's a floating petri dish," but I also look at it as, wouldn't it be the greatest control? Because when
Yes.
you have somebody go to a resort or Disney World or something like that, it's very hard to pinpoint the trace and the source. So I'm like, isn't that kind of a slight benefit that you kind of know for sure where people are?
Did the Venetian ask for proof of you being vaccinated before you stayed there? Of course not.
No, they definitely did not. I mean, I will say they definitely had people right by the doors that were like, "Put on your mask."
Oh yes, I saw that too. But,
and they were pretty heavy on it, which I appreciated.
So Norwegian made some breaking news today. So this was what the CDC said was, this is our guidelines. Norwegian came out today.
Oh, I one.
You did. It's fine. So Norwegian came out today with their Sail Safe program. So for those of you who don't know, Norwegian and Royal Caribbean Group, so both of them have a lot of cruise lines under their flag. They hired and are using the same health panel. So there's leading doctors, epidemiologists, politicians, like they're using the same panel. But Norwegian came out with their Sail Safe program this morning, and it's in response to the CDC. Norwegian wants to sail by July 4th. They said President Biden said life in America should be mostly back to normal by 4th of July. So Norwegian is setting that date for a resume to travel. It's very similar to the Royal Caribbean one. People have to be vaccinated, all the crews vaccinated, upgraded filtered air programs, masks, reduced capacity, all that. The major difference, and this is where Norwegian broke some news today, everybody has to be vaccinated. No exemption for minors under the age of 16. So for all sailings through October 2021 with Norwegian, that could obviously change the date, but right now they're saying all sailing through October with Norwegian, you have to be vaccinated, and it doesn't matter if your kid is negative. So all of a sudden, Norwegian's now an adult-only cruise line, Haley? How are you feeling about this?
Oh, I wish that it wasn't this big of a debacle. Like, I don't understand what is so difficult about Carnival, NCL, Royal putting their heads together and just coming out with a blanket program.
No, so I
struggle because these cruise lines are family oriented. Like Norwegian is that comparable to Royal Caribbean on that same level. And, I think you and I have kind of mentioned that, bookings, I know that we slightly touched on this, aren't as, there was a lot, but not as rampant as they thought they would be. But I think the big thing is you have that family question.
You do.
And you and I discussed earlier, not even all families have passports for their kids.
Yeah.
My child is spoiled and does, but I I think that's going to be really hard for them on that
So,
side.
right. So purely anecdotal, the people that I've been booking with Royal and Celebrity so far for the summer sailings in the Caribbean, I don't think I've booked any minors. Like, if they had, I think there was like one 17-year-old, but they're about to graduate. I mean, so basically no one under 16 so far. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, but like you said, not a lot of people have passports for their children. But I agree with you. I am shocked that there isn't a joint proposal with Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, the CLIA stamp on it, and submit it to the CDC and like, this is what we're gonna do. So now it's weird that like Royal, you can bring a 10-year-old in Royal, but you can't bring a 10-year-old in Norwegian.
Oh, it's crazy. And I wish really also from like the hotel side, because all the brands in essence have the same thing. They just call it so many different names. It's like, can we just have a joint approach? Because
Right.
people are having to do more research, which is what I think makes your job really great. Now, being a travel advisor, people are starting to use travel advisors more because there's so many question marks, and just not having that joint approach, I think, adds in another unnecessary question mark.
I agree. So that was the first breaking news Norwegian did today. The second breaking news
The more
is
exciting one.
the more exciting one is they are announcing they are moving 3 ships to be sailing out of Greece, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. So the Jade will be out of Athens, the Joy will be out of Montego Bay, and the Gem will be out of the Dominican Republic. All 3 ships will be doing 7-night itineraries. They start later in the summer. And I am really excited to see this, especially the Joy out of Montego Bay. Rick in the chat kind of spoiled it a little earlier. Who's booking the Joy? I mean, all of a sudden the Joy. I mean, so that will be the biggest ship doing these non-U.S. sailings. It will be the newest ship doing the non-U.S. sailings, and some of the itineraries look very compelling. So I am very, very proud of Norwegian for adapting to this world where the CDC is just not really working with the cruise lines. So what do you think? Are we going to be looking at some Joy and some other options with Norwegian?
I think there is. So while I chat, Jason, can you pull up some of those ports? Because I was trying to find the email and
Oh, yes. I was not ready
So
for that.
one thing I think that kind of makes me a little sad, we'll start with the slight low part to this, is that we're seeing Greek itineraries pop up, which I love.
Yeah.
But like the only real pretty ship in Greece is the Apex.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be on the Jade. I don't want to be on the Jewel. I wish there was a little more option over there. But I truly think that the Montego Bay Jamaica one that's inspiring, because Jamaica itself is one of those islands. I know a lot of people aren't huge fans, but it's a very diverse island as to things you can do, and it's not just a beach.
So I really like the Joy's itinerary. So leave from Montego Bay, you go to Harvest Caye, which is their private island, which looks beautiful. You go to Roatan, you go to Cozumel, you go to Ocho Rios, and you end back to Montego Bay.
See, I think that's a nice itinerary. It's different than
I agree.
We're really getting a change up, and I think this is going to give people that opportunity to try other cruise lines, because I think a lot of us, we tend to default to things that we really like, which isn't a bad thing, because that means that, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, whomever is doing things right.
Right.
But I mean, there's only so many times that I can personally sail Coco Cay and Cozumel. I mean, I'm super excited to get back to it, but I want to spend my travel dollars on new experiences.
I agree. No, I agree. So
do you know if Norwegian is requiring Norwegian sanctioned excursions? I don't think I saw anything on that.
They have not said yes. So that has still been a great question. It was breaking news as we were going live. There's a huge, so it says during the there is an answer. I'm sorry. I just didn't have a chance to read all the FAQ, but it just came out. During the first month of operation, July and August 2021, guests will be required to purchase a Norwegian Cruise Line shore excursion. This policy will be continually evaluated with our Sail Safe Expert Council and will modify accordingly. So for July and August, if you want to get off the ship with Norwegian, you have to have one of their excursions. So
I think it makes sense because those smaller countries just have not had the access to the vaccines and
correct,
et cetera, that we have. So I think that's a great bubble. What do you think?
Look, I think at first I am totally fine. Like let's crawl before we start running. So I'm okay with it. And look, if you don't want to do a shore excursion, stay on board. Like that's okay. Like it's fine to stay on board. So I'm totally fine with it at first as well.
And Huntley, to answer your question, because he said, have you seen example flight costs to Montego? I will say out of New York City, which is a hub I just quickly pulled, we're looking at about $300 to $350 round trip, which I think is pretty fair.
Right. So exciting news there. Those are able to be booked, and yeah, so exciting news. So
it is. Now we're up onto the countries open to the U.S. This list has not changed this week. I anticipate some changes to this list in the next week or two.
I agree.
With all the new CDC guidelines. Europe is still kind of fumbling and figuring out their vaccine situation. I would say we're going to see some changes on this list in the next 2 weeks. And I think we're also going to see, it's not necessarily a country situation, but we're going to see a change in Hawaii. I can almost guarantee it. There have been so many mumblings on that travel news and industry hotline because they've kind of been waiting for a vaccine passport option. So that's great. So here's those countries again that you can travel to with a vaccine passport. No changes here yet. I do think we'll see some additions to this list in the next couple of weeks. So let's go to our question of the day for you and I to debate. What are your thoughts on cruise lines adding more inclusive options? I mean, we just saw Celebrity do that huge switch to their price includes everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Jason?
So I like it. So the industry, for those of you who don't know, the industry has largely been moving for cruise lines to become more all-inclusive. So we see Virgin including Wi-Fi gratuities, no drink package, but they give you so much onboard credit. You're basically getting a drink package. Celebrity does it. Norwegian's been doing this kind of approach for years. Princess does it. MSC does it with like certain experiences and packages. So the industry tends to be moving in that direction. And personally, I like it. I don't like having to shop around for a drink package or a Wi-Fi package, cancel it, book it again if the price goes down. Like, do I want to get the Wi-Fi package or not? So I enjoy just purchasing a cruise and my shopping for the extras is over. Do you agree? So do you agree? Do you disagree?
I absolutely agree. But I think I don't want to call it a caveat, but there's a slight mental roadblock when it comes to it sometimes. Like if you're somebody that is used to booking, say like Royal Caribbean, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but it's the best example. And you get a pricing, say, for like Celebrity or Norwegian, that's that all-in rate. It's kind of a sticker shock at first.
It is.
Because when you're hunting down those drink packages, what you're buying is so incremental.
Yep.
So I think that's the biggest roadblock, and it's going to be, cruise lines that switch to that is retraining your clientele to think that way and not be like, but I love that I can just pay one price and it's done.
No, I agree. And people often end up paying, when you sell like Carnival or sell Royal Caribbean, you often end up paying more money by the time you buy your drink package, your Wi-Fi package, pay your gratuities. Like you often end up spending more money. The only people who do benefit, I think, from the non-inclusive pricing are people who have no interest in a drink package and they have no interest in a Wi-Fi package. So those are the only people who I think really come out ahead by sailing Carnival and Royal Caribbean, because they do price it kind of more a la carte. So they subsidize their cruise fare, knowing most people buy the drink package, the Wi-Fi package. So if you're not interested in drinking at all, not interested in Wi-Fi at all, you can probably save money by sailing Carnival or Royal Caribbean.
See, I agree with you on that because, believe it or not, when I'm not cruising with all you lovely people, especially Cruise Life Rick, sometimes I will debate getting a drink package. I typically speaking actually don't really drink a lot. But when I have like you and Rick that are instigators, that's a different story. But if it was like a quick weekend cruise with
Sure.
one I did with Olivia, my sister-in-law, I didn't do a drink package. I brought a couple bottles of wine on board. And that was good for me because it wasn't the style of cruise that I anticipated, doing prior, because it's very mood dependent. Plus, it all matters on the itinerary too.
Yes, no, I agree completely. So I'm excited for the kind of the move in the industry, and I hope we see it can kind of continue to change. So I guess that takes us to the travel tip.
Yes, and I love this tip because you introduced me to it.
Oh, I didn't know that I did. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, because I had heard of it, and I think you had just come back. This is right, like kind of when we started becoming friends.
Okay.
And you mentioned what it was like coming back from Europe.
Yes, right.
This. And I was like,
So if you don't know what we're talking about, Global Entry is a program. It costs $100. And you basically get, think TSA pre-check, but in reverse coming home from international travel. So there is no waiting in the customs lines. You just scan your passport, you scan your fingerprints, you answer a couple questions, they print out a sheet of paper, you show it to a customs agent, and then you are free to go in like 2 seconds. So it's $100. What's great about it is it comes with TSA pre-check, which is $85. So spend $100, get TSA pre-check and Global Entry, and it saves you so much time at the airport with pre-check. It saves you so much time coming home. And what's nice is there are some airports, Haley, we've experienced this ourselves firsthand, that have the pre-clearance in the international airport for Americans. So we were in Vancouver flying home, and they had a whole separate area in the Vancouver airport for the Global Entry people, but everybody in this terminal was flying to America. So the customs line was how long, Haley? And we got through it in no time with the Global Entry.
It was like magic because we were up early that day.
We were
getting off the ship,
right?
And we had been up late, partying and all that jazz.
Yep.
And just seeing that sign was just such a big sigh of relief. Like we knew it was coming, but in comparison to what the other lines looked like, it was like seeing the gates of heaven.
I agree. And so I've never flown out of Nassau. I've heard, and Josh Crowther just confirmed it, I've heard the Nassau airport has it as well. This will be the first time I'm sailing in and out of Nassau, or flying in and out of Nassau. So I'm excited to use it in Nassau. So if you're doing a cruise out of the Bahamas this summer, look at getting Global Entry. And if you have an American Express Platinum card, it's free.
And same with Chase Sapphire Reserve as well.
Oh, well, I'm an American Express travel representative, so I'm biased.
Well, I have that platinum card. And that's what's great is you do get that credit back. And you do have to sit there and figure how much do I truly travel? But honestly, for the $15 more, it just makes sense. And little known fact, Fort Lauderdale has a Global Entry line where you can skip the lines when you get off a ship.
Okay. No, I did not know that. And Cruise Life Rig did a little bit of breaking news. The Delta Platinum, it's free with them as well. Awesome. I did not know that. I don't have the Delta Platinum.
I have that card as well.
Oh, you have them all. You have them all. So so I thought we had a really good follower of the day question this week.
You did.
especially with excursions likely to be done by the cruise lines. My brother, Michael P., asked, what are some good options for cruise line provided excursions on Adventure of the Seas out of the Bahamas? And Haley, you did some research into some of these. Do you want to kind of point out some that you thought were kind of exciting?
Absolutely. So for Freeport, because we have that stop in Grand Bahama.
Yep.
I've been there. I was there on my wedding cruise. It was like 2 days after my wedding, we went to Freeport. As much as I'm typically not a sit on the beach kind of gal all day, you have to do it in Freeport. There's a beach getaway. And one of the cool things about this island is one of the beaches there actually has like pinkish sand. So it's super pretty, super clear. I would highly recommend the beach getaway. There's not a whole lot of excursion options in Freeport. Like there's some island tours and things of that. I don't really think those are the best way to utilize your time because the beach here is just, it's beautiful. It's stunning. I have some pictures of it on my Instagram.
Well, you've talked me into getting off the ship and going to this beach.
Did. It's so beautiful.
Okay, I will get off and I will go.
The water is so clear. You can literally walk out in knee-deep water and just see sand dollars that you can pick up. Like it's that clear. It's really beautiful. And, you know, I think it's a nice way to kind of give back because that island got ripped up a few years ago. I mean, obliterated. So
it did.
Big fan of getting off there. Cozumel, one of my favorites. And I'm going to tell you, if you're going to go to Cozumel and you like the ocean, you need to be snorkeling and diving in Cozumel. That is some of the best snorkeling that you are going to do in the Caribbean. They have a lot of coral reefs. There's some dives. I mean, there's so many good spots. Like El Cielo has all the starfish and the stingrays. Like I snorkel and dive every time I go. Like it's so good. I've also heard really good things about the ATV rides around the island that are great. And of course, you still have your beach clubs.
I've seen those a million times. The ATV, I've seen them in Cozumel. I've seen them all the time.
Love them in Cozumel. Which is great. And then, of course, I'm going to plug myself here slightly. If they don't require cruise ship sanctioned ones, remember I put together that bar crawl of all those little local bars in the central area. If you don't want to go too far from the ship.
Right.
Oh my God, it's so cheap to drink there, and the drinks are fantastic. It's so
I've been to some of those places you told me to go and had a great time.
It's so good. So then we're up to Coco Cay here, and I mean, like, what is there not to do in Coco Cay? You can snorkel and kayak. I mean, the snorkeling that they've made with like the sunken treasures and stuff is cool. The Bahamas typically doesn't have the greatest snorkeling. And little key fact, if you are on an island that has super soft sand, chances are the snorkeling is not going to be great because the rockier it is, the means more coral, etc. But it's still pretty. You can kayak. There's the water park pass. There's the beach club pass. There's all the cabanas. But I mean, when you have that Oasis Lagoon pool, like what else do you need? It's just
I'm actually doing two things in Coco Cay I've never done before because I always just go to the Oasis Lagoon and just stay there all day long. I was conned, not really, into doing the beach club one day. I'm doing the water park one day, so I'm really excited to finally do the water park at Coco Cay. I cannot wait to go down those water slides.
See, I'm scared from doing water slides because I had a really bad experience, and I'm a thrill seeker. I love roller coasters and stuff, but like I wear 2-piece swimsuits, and I've had a bad, unfortunate incident.
Moving along,
a 2-piece swimsuit, so you can enjoy those. I'll show something else, but you're gonna be on Haps for that, right? You're gonna be showing.
I will be all over. Yeah, and Coco Cay has really good Wi-Fi. So we will be all over Coco Cay. We're doing 2 days, so I cannot wait. So so I'm super excited. So Coco Cay has something for everybody. It's got the chill and the thrill. You can just chill on the beach, chill in the beach club, chill in a cabana, or you can go to the wave pool, the water slides.
And Jason, I didn't realize this, and I don't know how many of our followers did. I didn't know they added a zip line at Coco Cay. Like I knew the balloon was there. I didn't know the zip line got added.
I mean, this is getting a little off course, but I was proven totally wrong with the Coco Cay thing. When they announced it years ago, I was like, this seems super gimmicky, but they have done a great job.
You and I ate our words on that.
We did. I am man enough to tell you when I'm wrong. I keep it fair, balanced, unafraid, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I was totally wrong. Coco Cay is a lot of fun. So awesome. Well, guys, what do you do if you want your question answered on our show? You go to todayintravel.live, post your questions, post your travel hacks, post your photos, and we have a lot of fun in there, and we answer questions. And especially once we start traveling more, that group is going to just be exploding. Amy posted a picture of my celebrity millennium in St. Martin the other day, and I was just so excited to see my,
He's so happy.
I know. I was like, I can't wait to see the millennium in St. Martin. So yeah, so todayintravel.live, and if there's a topic you want us to discuss on there, put it in there, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Absolutely. I know that I'll have some new blog posts, videos, etc. coming up on what it's like traveling to Vegas right now that travel's picking up. Vastly different experience from what you had in October.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you guys have questions, post them in there. If you even have a favorite destination that you haven't seen a lot of people talk about, post it in there. This group is to collab and inspire, and that's what I want it to be. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. And if there's a topic you want to see, drop it in there too. We always post that one question every Monday. Hey, what do you want to see?
I love it. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you in our group. Haley, have a wonderful Tuesday, and I had a great time as always.